All right, welcome to another video. My name is Anthony, and this video is brought to you by...
Our mission is to raise awareness about human trafficking and give 100% of the profits to fund the fight. Our responsibly sourced 100% Arabica coffee can be purchased online and it is delicious. But don't take our word for it. Get some, brew some, and join the fight.
Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about my favorite way to brew coffee. That's the Moka Pot. All right, if you like espresso drinks, lattes, Americanos, cappuccinos, etc., the Moka Pot is definitely for you. Now, this one is aluminum and it's large, and so this makes about 8 espresso drinks. And this one is stainless steel. It's half the size. It makes about 4 espresso drinks. All right. So the difference between espresso made by a machine and espresso made on a Moka Pot is basically pressure. All right. A Moka Pot is going to give you about 1.5 bars of pressure, and a machine is going to give you about 6 to 9 bars of pressure. So while one is made on a machine and one is made on a stovetop, taste-wise, they're very similar. So if you like what you're getting in a cafe but you want it at home, like I said, the Moka Pot is definitely for you. All right, how it works. The Moka Pot has 3 parts. You got the top. This is where the coffee ends up. You have the filter. This is where your coffee goes. And you have your base, and this is where the water goes. Now, when you fill the base up with water, you don't want to fill it up past this pressure valve. All right, so with that out of the way, let's brew a pot, shall we? All right, the reason why you don't want to boil water in the Moka Pot is because it will cause the grounds to overheat and be dry, which negatively impacts the taste of your coffee. All right, so while you're waiting for the water to boil, you're going to want to fill the filter with coffee. Of course, you're going to want to use Fight Coffee. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, over time, you can figure out the water to grind ratio, meaning how much grinds do you want to fill in here. You don't have to fill it all the way to the top, so you can adjust it in the filter. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to pack it. If you pack it and press down on it, then the pressure is not going to be sufficient to work its way through the cup and up into the top of the filter. So whatever you do, don't pack it. So let's do it. All right, so the next thing that you want to do is you want to bloom the coffee. And what that means is you want to get the coffee grinds wet so that it releases CO2. And the more CO2 that's released, the better your coffee tastes. So we're going to do that next. Okay, so what I do is I continue to wet this until it starts to drip coffee color water out of the bottom. So that's kind of when you know the water's soaked all the way through and your blooming is done. All right, now we're going to get our boiling water. We're going to pour it in. Drop in the filter. I'm going to screw on the top. Notice I had a handy dandy pot holder so you don't burn yourself. And get this very tight. If you don't get it tight, the pressure will force it out the side instead of up through the top. So you definitely want to get this very tight. Okay. Now that we've got this tight, we're going to put it on the stove. What I do, I have an electric stove, so I put it on about number 3. If you have gas or something else, you're just going to have to play around with it. Ideally, you want it on a low temperature because the lower the temperature, the longer it takes for the water to press through, and the longer that takes, the more flavor that's being picked up while it passes through the puck or the coffee grinds. Okay, so again, you're going to have to figure that out on your own stove, but on an electric, at least on mine, I do about a number 3. All right, so one thing that's super important you want to be mindful of, and I know this might sound, like I don't need to say it, but you want this handle not above the heat. I've done it, you're busy. If the handle is above the heat, when you go to grab it, this thing's going to be piping hot. So just a friendly tip, keep this away from, and as far away from the heat source as possible. All right, now that we have a full pot of espresso, what I normally do is I just pour it into a thermos. And voila, you're ready to start making lattes. That is delicious. So whether you like your espresso hot or iced, you want to get some Fight coffee, and you want to get yourself a Moka Pot. If you'd like a Moka Pot, we got links in the description box below so you can order one. If you want some Fight coffee, just go to fightcoffee.org. We have an online store, and place your order. In the meantime, enjoy.